Hello, everybody. It is dinner time and it's Friday. How are you guys doing? I know my guest that I have in today is going to be coming in from some other different places. And we're waiting for him to come in. Last I spoke, they were preparing for hurricanes. So if you guys know anything about hurricanes, and the situation and what you got to do to get step up. It's kind of hard. So I told my son maybe we have to wing it and we'll see. Just gonna keep shooting email. And without further ado, I do want to play our commercials before we really get into things as well. Okay, now welcome back. And guess what? Play it by ear. Waiting. Always awaiting. Um, so how are you, my son, on this great Friday? How you doing?
I'm okay. Mm, none too bad, none too great.
Nothing too bad, nothing too great.
Yeah.
That don't sound very enthusiastic on a Friday.
I mean, it's Friday. The only time everyone's excited over a Friday, unless you have a job or you're in school and you're off on Fridays. But other than that, Friday's just another day. Really,
Hmm.
just like your birthday,
Hmm. Well, like I feel my birthday is just another day. All depends. It have a significant days and stuff. You know what's going on. So da 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 da. So just checking. You know what I mean? Got to check.
Yeah.
Um,
Before we go on any further, we also gotta let you guys know, if you guys are now just turning in, please subscribe, hit the notification button if you're on YouTube, and if you're on Twitch, please follow us. Click the follow button. It's free. I don't know why you turned off the mic and you're showing me, Mom. It's funny. You're funny. But also remember to follow her on our social medias. We are still trying to get her a link tree so she can link to all her social medias. But we haven't gotten time to get to that. Probably if we do the next show, maybe we'll be able to put that in the chat for her. So if you ever follow her on Twitter, follow her on Instagram. Also, the show's also on YouTube, Twitch, Periscope.
yep.
What is it? Vlog Talk. And also remember, Vlog Talk, if you guys want to have any questions you want to call live, please look at the number below and call us. Have any questions about the show? At this particular moment, our guest is not here at this particular moment. So we're going to do this by ear. So we could probably talk about something different. We'll just do it by the edge of our seats. So what you want to talk about, Mom? What do you feel like talking about? You want to talk about
what's going on in the world today and how we proceed. I don't know. Just I was all set for my show. My teeth was ready to sink in. I have all these questions I want to ask. Um, the gentleman, Mr.
Uh,
Ross,
Mr.
about being an ex.
What's his full name, Mom? Say his full name so everyone knows. Maybe you might even want to look him up. His full name.
Curtis, Curtis Ross, Mr. Curtis Rice. He has a YouTube channel as well, and he talks about living in Colombia. Um, and he did videos where he was living in Medellin. He did a video of him looking for house scouting in Merida, Merida, Mexico. So those are some of the things I wanted to talk about, the benefits of actually living overseas. Some of the things that can inspire you, some of the things that can help you as an expat, and also some things which you can look for, like planning for a trip. Like you are an expat. You know, we did the expat thing. What do you think you were prepared to be an expat when we started our journey in Florida?
No, not really. We were
Okay.
still going
What
by
do
the edge of us. We had to try to get rid of everything the best of our ability. We didn't really have a lot to begin with, but we had to get rid of some things and pack some things to make sure to be able to fit on a plane and take on the plane. We had still had like a good amount of stuff. We had like 6 bags or something, which was a lot, and we were rushed. And I mean, it was hard to get a job. I mean, it's the one thing you might want to do if you want to go is you need money to continuously making money. The best way to continuously making money, if you have a computer, some people don't have a computer, is you know, remote jobs. Try to find get skills that allow you to work remotely. Because now it's even more important to get a remote job because this is going on.
what's this? COVID, right?
Yeah, and everyone
Okay.
wants to try to avoid that. So it's very important to try to make money where you continuously make money. And a lot like going to a job before going there is pretty expensive because you have to
Well,
wake. No, hear me
go
out.
ahead.
First, you have to wake up, do your thing, get washed up. Then you have to go in your car, drive gas, maybe put some gas in your tank. The amount like commute that takes money. Getting there, putting your time in. That they increase money, but you have to include like other things. You're just putting your time. Your time is valuable. You could be doing other things with your time, but you have to focus on working. And jobs don't make it easy because you have to put in 8-hour work days, and that's practically like not even, it's like a bit of your time, but you have to sleep, you have to eat, sleep, you have to eat, sleep, and try to do other things in that amount of time. And you'll be working for like I don't know how many years to save up to get retirement. If you have like a decent job, you have to go to high college, which I mean, college college doesn't really guarantee you a job nowadays. You have to still hunt for it, and then just all that. If you get a good job, that you have to pay back debt, and you have to work double the hours you went to college to do the thing you were studying for. If you went to college, or you didn't go to college, or didn't finish high school, or didn't finish your school, you have to go to um like do like entry level jobs like fast food or something like that, and you have to work like double shifts, and you have to work 2 jobs. No one wants to work 2 jobs. That shouldn't be like, oh, if well back in my day, like when older generations, like back in my day, we worked 2 jobs. That shouldn't be a good thing. That should not be promoted. That shouldn't be like, oh, I worked 2 jobs as a kid. Well, that's not a good thing. You could have done other things. Making money is good, but like you could have figured out a way to increase your funds if you didn't have like multiple jobs to be focusing on, because that's like more stress, less sleep, and a lot of altercations that just pile on over years. Like I bet you if you had like if your job paid you a decent amount of money for like a good amount of work, do you think you'd be in a different situation? Because I think you would have been in a different situation if you had like a decent income when you were a kid and you got to keep some of your money. Because I think you would have saved most of your money and probably went to college, got your like double master. Was it what's beyond masters?
Doctorate, which I do have a
Doctorate.
doctorate.
You do have a doctorate, but you probably would have gotten it sooner, and you would have been more professional, and also you would have been more
But you trying to get out.
It's not on. It was not on. You gotta turn it on again. Are you
How
gonna
do
try to
I?
do it? You try to go
That was
live.
on. Or sure you went to go live. And I put yeah.
You might want to flip the camera, but
okay.
I think like I seen this YouTube video of the YouTuber named Dante. He used to have been a janitor. He does like reaction videos. Reacts to like he's into hip hop a lot. He's into like the new stuff and also the old stuff. So he's also a rapper. But he had this very interesting thing that actually kind of might resonate with some people. He says we're on this planet. There's this planet, then there's like the solar system, then there's the galaxy, then the like bigger and bigger, and then there's the universe. To like it's way too big to be wasting your time on work, like working yourself to death.
I get that.
Like
but if you have a
no one should.
Just went on and just like didn't even let me finish.
I was talking and you didn't let me stop. You try to interrupt me. Don't try to be like, oh, you didn't let me talk. I wasn't finished speaking. That was kind of rude, Mom.
Go for it, Corey.
Again, you're trying to spin this. The way people try to set things up is like, oh, we're going to try to work you to the point of getting funds. And it's extremely hard. It's really hard.
Mm-hmm.
And like, there's no easy way to be like everything raising up. Like rent is really high. Utilities, if you have to pay for that, is really high. Like depending on the person, like you have to focus on working to just even skirt by. And some of the big companies don't want to pay that because whatever the narrative is, like, oh, we can't pay that because we don't get paid that much. Well, even us corporate people don't get paid that much. But if you're able to buy like a big mansion and all that, then yeah, you can kind of like share the wealth. You can go down to a smaller house. Shoot, like, what does a mansion do for the long run of like a big house? A big house makes the planet a little bit smaller, Like if you get like a decent sized house, like if the mansion's for like if you have like a huge family and you have the funds to do it, then do it. Yeah. But if you're gonna like waste your money on getting a mansion because to have a mansion and also get 10,000 cars and like spend a yacht, that's just wasted money because you have money. Like if I had the funds, I would like to have a comfortable lifestyle. I'd buy a house. Probably may even buy a house just to rent it out and then like make more income. Bam. And then just try to work on myself while making income. Like it's without trying to bust my hump and then like stress out about having cash. That's not like a fun thing to do. People say money doesn't make you happy, but if you don't have money, how are you going to live? Like that's more of a stressor. The people that say that have money. People that say that like money doesn't bring happiness. The main reason doesn't bring you happiness because you're buying like stuff that's unnecessary. If you buy like a car that gets you to A to B and then it's a good car and you take good care of it, and you keep maintaining it. I think over access, people are not supposed to have over access of money, over access of things because people don't get satisfied. I think they should be like good set in the middle. Like if they're set in the middle, I think they're satisfied. If you get what I mean, mom,
I'm
hello.
here. I'm here. I
I'm
am.
gonna do this. So
No, I got the camera on, so it doesn't make sense for me to shoot while the camera's still looking. So it's a
yeah.
live person.
So
Oh
also
gosh.
sorry, that's our little dog Lacey. She's barking up a storm, and I apologize. She's she's annoying, but she's a dog. She is adorable though when she has her moments. She's adorable when she has her moments. What about you, Mom? Do you agree with what I'm talking about, or do you have any?
Well, I would like to go at the beginning because when we were prepared, I made a decision of moving, of actually living. I was in Florida, and I tried to actually stick after coming back from Belize. I really tried to stick in United States, and I just was not happy. So my first thing is somebody, if you want to live a lifestyle and you don't find that any place you haven't lived make you feel comfortable or happiness, or you just don't feel like you belong, and that's always been my case. I've lived from the East Coast, from the West Coast, from the West Coast to Hawaii and overseas. And I just wanted to find something that would make me happy, that would give me something new to look at and search for. And I always dreamed as a kid going overseas. So, with that being said, I said, what would be the main thing that was stopping me from going overseas? We make excuses, funding. If I don't have the money, then I'm not going to travel. Now, it depends on how you want to travel. If you want to travel and be in like everything first class, now that can be done, but you got to make sure that you're going to be able to do it on your budget. So you save up for that goal. I made this decision around Christmas. For my Christmas, I decided I no longer wanted to be in the United States. So I started planning what I wanted to do. I looked up tickets and I bought tickets. And New Year's Day, I decided to buy a ticket. So I bought a ticket for less than 30 days. So yes, we did move in a bit of a time. In 30 days. We got everything together, sold as much as everything. And that was a suggestion from my friend that was over there. Just sell what you can. If you want to do something, sell everything you think of a value and just go with the bags on your back. And I said, okay, I tried that, certain things in sales, certain things I gave away. My books, I devoted, like gave a lot of stuff to Clearwater, Florida Library, a lot of different books, medical books, metaphysical books, cookbooks, educational books, all these books I gave to them so that they would have. So I wanted to be a benefit. Um, Candle making equipment, all the stuff that I do, down even to my kombucha and my scobies, I gave them away in kefirs. So that was given away and sold some of them. So I did what I could to raise as much funding that I thought I would have, like a good stash in my bank. So when I went overseas, but not only was I saving just for me, I was saving for two people. And it's different when you're bringing two people, three people, four people, five people. You got to see the income. And there are very things that you can prepare for. If you're going to go overseas, you can get an ESL job teaching English. That is a good way of making income that we don't think of. Doing customer service, like you said, it was hard, but the things, if you set up in a company beforehand, you might be able to do it. Even if you're a foreign country like Amazon, there's Amazon customer service that you can do if you speak the language. So say you're in Portugal or Spain and you speak Castile Spanish, then you'll be able to speak Spanish, not only there to be in the land, but also to get job, not there per se, but online. Data data entry. If you can do that, that's something that you're going to do online. You can do medical transcription. Someone can send you a tape and you can type that. If you know the ICD-9 codes or the IDC-10 now, not ICD-9 codes, these are codes that you do in hospitals. So these are jobs that you can get that are people are sending you codes and you're doing the codes for building to get insurance companies for building. Used to do that. As a medical secretary. So having various backgrounds that you can supplement your income. And then you got your digital nomad, where people actually goes to different places and actually stay and actually vote and write an article or write a vlog or a blog about the place they stayed at. That is still doable still today. So that is important things that you can do. You can write a blog, you can write a blog. You can also do hotels experience where you can do different traveling for different agencies that you let you travel, and they pay you to actually travel to different places and actually give the experience, a truthful experience. It's almost like in the United States they have a mystery shopper, where mystery shopper goes to a different place, look around, they tell you what to spend, what to look for, check out customer service, how they're doing. You are the consumer and you're having a voice in the different places you go to. And then you send that data to the company and they reimburse you, plus they pay you for shopping there. So that is something that you can do as that aspect of trying different hotels, trying car service. Another thing is driving one car to another part of a state. That's here in the United States that you can do, is transporting cars and RVs. You can get a job doing that. Very simple, very easy things if you want to do that. But let's see about going overseas. There's things that you can vote on. You can also be a travel agent where you sell other people vacations and give them deals. And as you give them deals, or as a friend is a travel concierge, you can do that. When you're giving that information, getting the airlines, getting the hotel, you'll get commission off of that. And even if they want to actually do some things, book some trips, you can actually do that as well. So there's a various of things that you can actually do to make money to get for your trip, but also to travel there. Now, also a thing that you can do to save for your trip is actually get a saving fund, what they call a vacation fund. Start the vacation fund of how much money you need that is going to be taken out of your check. Get it taken out of your check, automatically going there, so you're not even worried about it. So when you feel you have enough, that you can do that. Now, funding. Other ways you can do, you can rent out your house, you can rent out your property. So that takes another source of income that you can have. So when you're going somewhere else, you're renting out that property or even renting out your car, and that's being taken care of. Have somebody that you're going to hire. There's different housing places that you can actually hire for someone to be able to take care of your place. They would pay the maintenance fee, and they come in, the landlord, they give them the keys, they check it out, they make sure everything is done. It's called a management company. So you have rent. So wherever you go, that's a stream of income. Renting your car, that's a stream of income. You see where I'm going? There's a lot of things that you can do if you have access to do. So don't let the fun stop you from exploring other countries you want. You make the best out of what you have. So you have just you're an apartment. So okay, well, what do you want to do? You save up money, do something, whatever you have a talent is, making candles, making cakes, doing dinners. You do them and sell them. As back in the day, my nana would do rent parties, and they would party, and people would come and pay and eat plates and listen to music and maybe drink a little booze. That money went towards rent, and everything extra covered the food. So that was a profit. That's something that you can still do today. Being a teacher, like I said, being a consultant. If you're a consultant and you have your own company, you can do it in another country. You just take it, have your system set up that you can work from home. So that's another way of being also a digital nomad, but also working where you also have a stream of income coming in. These are some things. that you can look at and decide this is what I want to do. So don't be alarmed. Make plans. Like I'm used to just doing. I decided on Christmas. I bought my ticket the next month that was it. I let my friends know. We did New Year's Day party, and I said this is it. Let them know the date I was leaving. We left February 2nd. So yes, I did 30 to 60 days. Most people don't do that, but it worked out. When I got there, I had talked to met some friends, and that's another thing. Make friends in other countries. Join maybe some expats, Facebook's group, expat meetups, expat different ways that you can meet up and talk to people online, doing Zoom, doing different things that you're connecting to the country, to the area, to the state, wherever you want to go. Just make it happen. Don't let your blockages, oh well, I don't want to do this because I don't know anybody. Figure out what your strength is. If I go there, how would I get along? Am I going to be a recluse? If I'm going to be staying in there, I'm not going to introduce myself, or am I fine? Am I fine with myself? That's the biggest question. And my answer is yes, I am fine with myself. I don't mind being with myself. I don't mind being in the woods. If that's not for you, then you would be more going towards the city where you'll have more access to meeting people, going to maybe art galleries, museums, and other things that's good for you. But if you can, like being by yourself, you can actually look on the outskirts. If you know the language of the country, you can go look more on outskirts, because if you're not in the city hub, it tends to be less expensive when you're in the city hub. And if you're where a lot of expats, the rent considerably goes up enormously. So those are some key factors that you want to look at when you're actually relocating to these different things and preparing. And knowing what you want when you get there. That's another thing. Looking at the best time to travel. That's another thing to look at. Let me see. I am definitely going to end this. I got to see if my friend is there. Okay, you guys. Video. Okay, go ahead and talk, Corey.
Yeah, like she said, I mean, if you, it's a good thing to save money, put some money to the side, try to not break the bank, but also try to save money so you can get a vacation fund or an expat fund. So it's better, and it would have been nice for adults to tell your kids this now. Start saving money now. Like, if I ever had a kid, I would probably celebrate. Like, if they pick up a penny, I would celebrate that. And like every time they celebrate a penny, I'll tell them every time you pick up change, it's good for saving, so you can do what you want to do. So, saving money saving money to a goal like traveling or living overseas is a wonderful thing to do, and now. Start now. Don't wait now. Just put it money to the side so you can do what you want to do. It's very important because it's
Hello?
nice.
Not you.
uh, It's nice to have goals, and what she's doing is she is saving money. She is trying her best to live overseas, which is wonderful. My mom is putting in the effort, which is wonderful.
Sorry.
We're trying to get in touch with the gentleman now. Where
We have been for the next 30 minutes. So I guess this is a no-go. So that happens, and I
it's
guess
part of
I
life.
had a feeling that it was going to happen. That's why I always try to plan.
We could probably do
Uh,
it next week and talk about. We could just make this a two-parter,
yeah,
part one, and see if we can get the gentleman on, like part one or
yeah.
part two. and then
Yeah.
talk about this. Is like getting a general idea of what Mom. Can you go into deeper detail what an expat is? Before we were rambling for quite some time. People probably don't know, or probably know, but probably don't have a good idea of what it is. What is an expat, Mom? Mom, I can't hear you.
Okay. An expat. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. I can hear you perfectly fine. Put yourself on mute again. You put yourself on mute. No, you turned off your camera.
Mic is muted. Okay. How do I
There you
unmute
go.
this?
No, you're. I can hear you. I can hear you, Mom. Don't mess with it.
Okay.
Stop messing with it.
Okay. An expat is a person that comes from another country to live in another country. That's not their birth country. That they're not born. They're not a native of. That's an expat. So I did a interview with Cha Jones, and she's in Mexico. So what I will do is tomorrow play that interview um, on live and well upload it. I should say upload it because it was interview pre-recorded. So maybe that's what was supposed to happen. Spirit has a way of making things happen in the way it's supposed to. So it's all right to be an expat. Not everybody that's born in their country is supposed to be in that country. That is not their end stop or gain stop they're supposed to be at. That's another thing for, spirituality. Find out where you're supposed to be and what makes you happy. More and more we are traveling, more and more people are actually going out of the country and actually living and doing so many different things. People worry about health insurance. There's a way to have their Cigna health insurance if you travel. There's something is this red umbrella journey insurance that you can have life insurance when you travel. There's health, like I said, health and travel insurance that you can get. So there's different ways you can set up when you're going, and these are things that need to look at. You can drive to a country. You can also have your car shipped to another country. These are things that you can look at that people don't think about that maybe save you money, maybe not. Maybe you have to sell your car in order for you to have the money to do, or maybe it's feasible for you to drive your car down there. So these are all things that you can look at. Some countries, which we need to know, they charge you a fee to bring your stuff for relocation. So everything you bought, like I know they do that in Belize, everything you've bought, you're going to be taxed on. And then if you're in your 50s in Belize, you can retire and bring your stuff. And that one time they won't charge you a fee for the things you bring, like a computer, laptop, stove, whatever you're bringing. Some people have it shipped and they you won't have to pay a fee. Same thing. You want to do this in, Spain, Portugal, find out how this can be done. If you can ship your stuff, what is the cost? Certain times it could be $2,000, $3,000. Is that $2,000 to $3,000 worth it, or is it worth it to get more stuff? So you want to really do your homework about there. There's different people out there that are actually showing you inexpensive how you can retire at a certain age and live and not be stressed, because the thing is that I believe the US is a stress driven fear factory. That's what they do. And let me tell you, in Japan it is the same way too. In China, I didn't realize that they go to work until 9 o'clock at night in certain parts of China and Japan. They work. And it's about money. And they even have pods where people can actually, after they get off work, if they miss their train to go back home, they have these pods that you actually sleep in. Some people get drunk, but you sleep in overnight because you missed the train. So there's like pods, what they call little hotel capsules that they sleep in. So, I mean, that's unique, but that's the way people making money. That way people are not, displaced, but also they're a little bit more comfortable. and there's different places to eat. They're open at a lot of different times. These are just some different things for you to look at when you're going to different countries. That way. Living in Thailand, you can catch the train from one end to the other end, from going all over Thailand to going into Malaysia. You can catch the train there, which is really wonderful. And then you can catch a ship and then you take that. It's like, and you can take your car and actually drive, take a ferry. You can take a ferry from Mexico to Belize. So you can take different ferries to go different places we don't even, think about doing or could be done to go to different parts. Even the islands had ferries. They make a pretty amount of, money and stuff. So these are just some things to think about. What kind of living you want, what kind of lifestyle you want to choose when you get there. And is your lifestyle going to be better there than it is here? So that's how you make your decisions. Or, as my son said, can you downsize? Can you downgrade your house of living and be comfortable? Like a lot of people have gotten into the tiny houses. A lot of people have gone from mansions to smaller houses to leave a lesser carbon print on the world and a lesser print on the world themselves. They're doing windmills, doing solar, they're getting cars. I mean, there's so many different ways. Some people are not even doing so much. They're not even doing houses. They're actually living in their RVs. Some people are doing the van life. They're converting their cars, their van into something they can live in. So they sleep in their cars. They're not homeless. By these people with the van lives are not choosing to be out of a home. They just refuse to have property, have property that they have to be buckled down to pay the taxes with. But with the car, they still have to pay taxes because you still got to do your registration, your insurance, and all of that stuff. So it cuts down on some of your expenses. Having, your cell phone, satellite. These are things that you just make an adjustment on this type of life that you can actually do. It's so many different things. So many different things and lifestyles that you can actually live to be boggled free. People buy lots and land and they actually do a lot together. Acres, 1, 2, 3, 5 acres, they put it on there and they make it profitable for them. They're growing stuff, or they have a bunch of people they get in and they do a co-op and they big a big house because they'll say maybe you can only have one house. That they didn't say how big the house has to be. They just said a house. So you could do something like get in a corporation with people, buy some land together, build a big house. One east end of the house is this, the other east end of the other house is that. It didn't say, these are things you can look at. Look at the zoning. Look at what the zoning law is. Is it a single family house? Is it a ranch style house? Is it an HOA? Does everybody have to have the same cookie cutter house? These are different things and different ways to get out of that rut of being boggled down, but actually have something that's worth having and something that is actually going to give you return revenue. Some of those things. Tiny house, taking your house, moving it from one area to the other, or having your house so smart that you can actually live in and pull it behind you. I mean, that's just some things. There's height that you need to find out when you're going under bridge if your tiny house will be able to go in there. So that's something to look at. So they have all kinds of companies for that. So I'm just saying, the endless is possibility. Your mind is endless, so where you want to be could be endless. Don't let it stop you. If you want to go, plan a trip, plan it with a buddy, plan somebody that you know, or do it by yourself. Me, I don't care whether I do it by myself. I just do it. So stay in an Airbnb, maybe 1 night, 2 nights, 3 nights, or whatever. Find out if it's have a good reputation, viewings. These are different ways that you can go in other countries. Find out what the area is like around it. Do a map quest, a satellite search around that. Ask some questions. That's why I said go to your expat group so you can find out what actually area you're in and how you can connect with other people so you know what you're going in. Is it scary at night? These are things you need to know. Transportation, how you're going to get around. Is there Uber? Is there Lyft? Is there a bus system? Is there a train system? Is there a trolley system? These are things that you want to know. What is the closest grocery store? Is there a chain store? Is a mom and pop store? Is a little village? Is, do they have internet? If that's your thing, do they have movie theater? Do they have all these things? What do they have? What do they have for my children? Isn't it as a place? Because some people have children. So these are all different aspects. Is it going to be conducive for me learning? Should I do homeschooling? Do private schooling? These are so many aspects that you want to look at as being an aspect that affects not only you, but everybody that travels with you, in your work schedule. Supposing you work from home, well, you got to be able to have a quiet place where you can be able to do your stuff, where somebody's not in and out. Or you can go, in some places they still have internet cafes that you can go and rent the internet and do the cafes if you don't have internet at home. So this is something to look at, something that you can do. um it's pretty much cool, so it's up to you. Anything else you want to say, son? Corey?
Yes.
Yes. I was saying, did you want to say anything else like I said? You have any questions?
No, you stated that perfectly fine. Everything you said is pretty much on point. I mean, it gives people more to think about, and if they want to do it, they have to put some effort into it. It's really important to really think about it, because it's it takes a lot of prep time, and if you go in like without the prep time, a lot of things will fall apart. Like when we tried, the main reason we thought we could do Thailand because we did Hawaii, right? We had well, it was kind of a little bit different. We didn't. I mean, we kind of sell some things, but we had to move everything into some things into containers. We had to wait for a couple of days in Hawaii to get our stuff, and then we had to
Weeks.
transport
No, we had to wait weeks. We didn't wait a couple of days. We waited almost a month before our stuff came. A month.
a month. Yeah, a month. So,
Mhm.
but by time we didn't have the house yet, but by the time we got there, we were able to move some of our stuff into the Hawaii. So we didn't
Right.
even have. So it was kind of a good thing, but that's another story. But other than that, even moving to another the Hawaii was kind of being an aspect a little bit, but because you're still in America, you can still not really America. It's
It's still
um
America.
well, I don't want to say that, but it's still it's still it's heavily not heavily influenced. It is under base U.S. So they talk American and all that, but it has the Hawaiian culture and also other cultures
Japanese,
infused.
Hawaiian, Japanese,
Filipino,
Hawaiians, Filipino,
Filipino,
Marshallese,
yeah,
Polynesian, Fuji,
yeah,
and Guam, because they're
a
all near
mixture.
the area. Samoan, Tongans. Well,
Yeah,
at
so
least on our island, we say in Oahu.
no, Wahoo. It was Kona.
I said, and also on Oahu, I was saying that said it's influenced by those different cultures.
Yeah. So it's kind of like that, but it's a little bit more, not more extreme. But so when if you got to make sure your stuff you pack light. I mean, it's better. Even if it'd be better if you do a vacation, because you get a feel, go to it vacation there first, get a feel for it. Then if you want to make it a full time, probably what's a good time to get a good feel for another place, for what would a good vacation place. What's a good time? A
Well, the thing is, all
three
depends. All depends.
weeks.
Well, the thing is, you got to think about the seasons. There's hurricane seasons. There's rainy
I
seasons.
think you would do that.
Island.
I thought probably people could still do the studies for that. People
Yeah,
could still.
but I'm just saying that it all depends on you want to see what season you're going to go. It's going to be different in the rainy season. We went in February, it wasn't the rainy season, but when we were there for so long, we did stay during the rainy season. So we've been there for so long, we got to be during the rainy season. You know what I mean? So we got to know when the rainy season, hurricane season. Same thing with Hawaii. We have rainy season, hurricane season, same thing. You prepare and you know what those are. So you know when you're going, what you're going to see is going to be different from that time of the year. We also are on Kona side, and people need to know that, you know, different sides of different islands. Which side is the rainy side? Which side is the dry side? That's something we didn't even consider or didn't even think about. Um, well, I didn't think about when I went there, but these are things to look at the climate that you're going to go. What climate better fits you? Is it a dry? Is it wet? You know, do you mind being rain? Like some, we're being warned. If it rains, sometimes it rains so much. If you put your clothes out, you'll get mildew. So you got to be careful if you don't have a dryer. If you want to hang your stuff out, it could be rain, be sunny one minute and rain the next. So that's something to think about the next
Take into
place that you
consideration.
right. So preparing for it, I would say I would go on vacation in that country and actually travel around to different parts and see which part really calls to you. Or I would suggest get in touch with my girlfriend, Cha Jones, and do an astrological chart where she'll help you decide where you actually fit, where's the best place, what fits with you, what goes in harmony with you, where you will be your most successful, whether it's career, whether it's love, whether it's family. It's all in your astral chart when you get those together. I will like definitely put that up because it gives you a broader insight of actually where each line is in the country where you would be set to actually live and how to make it. So I had a session with her, and it was wonderful doing astrology. I have the astrogen myself, but I do the romance. I didn't focus on travel. When I traveled, I looked for myself, but I forgot you have other different beings. So you need to find out if this is going to be in harmony with your children and what they're going to face when you want to get that as well. So that's something that you need to look at and get a consultation with that person when that's going to happen. So I'm just saying, so that's another thing to do. Spiritually, where you're going to connect, spiritually where it's right. So I would go to a one spot, stay for a couple of days, see what it's like, get the atmosphere. And I don't mean just stay in the city, but go outside that in cities. So you're going to go, like I went to Bangkok. We stayed in Bangkok for about 7 days, and I realized it was too hectic, too noisy, didn't like it. Then I went to Koh Samui. Koh Samui, and I liked it. That was good for me. But I went from there, but I was looking to make income. So for me, that quiet little place that is nice to go to was not too far from Phuket. Phuket is the party town in Thailand that people will go to. So that's another aspect. Do you want to be in party town? So then Phuket might be the one for you. Chiang Mai is more spiritual and outside. I won't say in. In Central is more party town, more malls, more, you know, just a lot, really busy. I have a friend that did an interview. We're going to talk. I'll upload that video as well. I'm talking about Chiang Mai, how it is, how the income is, and what you can do. It all depends on what you want to pay for rent. These are different aspects that you can look at. I've lived in Tijuana area, California, Baja California area. So for me, I know what it's like. I've lived there, and I know the aspect of going being so close to United States that you can go back and forth. That's why some people choose Mexico, because they can go back and forth, no problem. Easy to get to. So that's something for you to take consideration. If you're in Mexico, there's not just Cancun, there's not just Cabos, so, and there's not just what is it, Puerto Vallarta, Merat, Tijuana. There's other Carmen de Playas. There's all kind of other different aspects in that area you can look at and see which one works for you. Do they have a library? Does it have English? Is it work? Do they have a recreation center? Do they have a tennis? Do they have a club? Do they have a workout center, fitness center? These are things that might be important to you. So you need to figure out if those aspects work? Do they have a fresh farmers market? What I liked about Tijuana, every Monday there was an organic farmers market. What I liked about living in Dosaket and Thailand, they had an organic farmers market every Sunday, organic farm market that I would buy my produce. I like that. That worked for me. That was wonderful. Then on top of it, right next to where I lived at in my studio, and I had a studio. My studio, there was a restaurant. So if I wanted to eat, I could eat for $2. Okay, I could eat for $5, and I got my tea, my water, or I could take a tuk-tuk from there into the city and go shopping and go to a Whole Foods, a mall, and there was like a Whole Foods there. So I got to know the markets, got to know the things. The thing is, before I went there, I prepped myself, not realizing I used to go to the store, this market in what is it, in Arizona, called Lily's Market. It was the Asian market. So the Asian market would have international stuff from Africa, stuff from Jamaica, some stuff from South America, all these different things, and all these other Asian countries. So they would have different, like Thai basil, lemongrass. They would have robotan, lychees. They would have dragon fruit. They would have the chamelo, the melons, the palmetto, grapefruit. So all these things they had, I kind of got familiar with. I would do a tasting once a week. So the more I got to know the herbage, the more I got to know the produce, the more I liked it. Bitter melon. Bitter melon is really good for people that have diabetes. So that's some chote I've been eating for years. Didn't even realize that it was a chote. I just knew it was green. I like it. It was a squash. So cook it as such. So I got to know really a lot of these produce and foods that was great for me. Like now I live here and I actually get I'm actually here. I actually get camel's milk, which I like. I like goat milk, which I like. It's a different taste. I mean, people have their own preference. I like Lily's and I like H Mart because you can get your fish. Your fish is actually swimming in the water. So you choose your fish. They will take the fish, clean it up, gut it out. If you want it fried, they even fry it. They cook it, scale it, fillet it, and all of that stuff. You pay the weight of the fish, and then they get rid of the other stuff. So some people like to take the fish head, do whatever they want to do. You need to be able to also read your fish, what it looks like. That's why I like that it's fresh and it's swimming. Where here a lot of the markets, the fish is already caught. It's already skinned. You don't know. For me, I have a problem with that. I like salmon, but I want to see what it looks like. So I got some issues with the food here. And I'm not gonna lie about it. I've always had an issue with the food. When I live overseas, my life expectancy is a lot longer. I eat fresher food. It's not a mind thing. It's the taste. When I came here, I was sick for 6 months coming back to United States, literally sick for 6 months. Eating the food here made me sick. So for me, going overseas and living over there for so long, you purify your system. And I can tell you, I didn't have as many issues. I actually started walking. And like I said before, I went to Thailand on metal crutches. I came back from living over there for so long without not needing a crutch or anything. I got back to United States, and let me tell you, rapidly started, like I said, got sick for 6 months, but trying to eat the food, I learned that I can't eat the gluten here. I can't eat a lot of the white rice or a lot of the food here, the milk. Everything has like a aftertaste to me. And when you purify your body so much and it's clean and you're eating, most people can't smell. Like I was sharing with a friend, if you're vegan and you've been vegan so long and you're purifying, you're not cooking, you have a certain pot, you have certain plans, you really get to a point, you can go past a store that has meat and it could be way in the back and you can smell it. It can literally make you sick, make you want to vomit. I did that when I was in a culinary. I was vegan, so I was sick constantly. because the smell that was all the way in the basement, and I was on the second or third floor and still could smell it. Problem. That's problem being a chef. But that was my lifestyle being in the Culinary Institute. So these are nothing but things that prepare you for your lifestyle. And I actually worked with a guru that said he wished he could make his body respond to eating meat and going back to being vegetarian. And I said, well, that's what you do fasting. Before you actually go straight vegan, you actually transition your body slowly to do it, to implement for it to go. Now, I'm going to say this: vegan is not for everybody. Being a carnivore is not for everybody. Being raw is not for everybody. Everybody has a different blood type. Everybody has a different body make. Everybody has their body is chemistry is different. So everything is not for everybody. So I said, don't gather and certain people tell you, well, you're not doing it right. You're doing it wrong and you're doing this. If you're working side by side, you know what you need and what you're taking. Sometimes it's just not meant for your body. Your body type is telling you, I'm sorry, girlfriend, you done did the pea protein, you done did all of this. That is a protein, is a synthetic protein that's made. That's not for you. Again, that's man-made. So where do we go from natural to man-made? So where's the difference? And maybe I'm getting on my soapbox with this, but people say, oh, okay, I'm vegan because I don't want to hurt the animals. So when you take a plant has life, right? So when you chop that plant, what do you think you do? You take its life. So it's been in our tradition that when you take anything, you give thanks for it, right? Or you thank the plant, the herb, or whatever, the animal. You're not just taking that animal and being wasteful. Now we're here really wasteful because we have gotten a way of thanking the animal and using every part of the animal. I'm just saying these are things that were done, and there's a reason why they were done. It was done in a ritual because of honoring of taking a life. We've gotten so used to slaughtering that sometimes we don't, people have gotten used to it that they have no mercy and just kill people. But that's just my opinion. But I could go on and on and on how how we do things. But son, I will put it off to you.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know what to say. You said it perfectly again. I mean, I don't know what you want me to say. I don't know what you want me to add. What do you want me to
You
say,
had
Mom?
anything to say? Did I say too much? Did I freak
No,
you
I
out?
mean, you can never say too much if you're informing people because you have to listen. Because if you want to inform people, they gotta listen and take in and try to implement or try to look up what you said and try to apply.
There you go.
Only thing you could do is learn and apply.
There you go.
It's very important
Yeah.
to learn. You know. But
Okay.
again, if you and the important part is like if you do get settled, settling is one thing, but continuously doing it is very important. So once you get like what you need, you gotta still be able to continuously do what you need to do. If you get what I mean.
Yeah. Well, some you can do a ritual like when you go to a new country or a new state.
Not. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about continuously be able to like live comfortably.
Yeah. 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 Pretty much. But
I
what I
mean,
was
you
just
can. You can. I
giving a
mean, if you.
suggestion,
But
I was
once
trying
you.
to give a suggestion for people to be able to adapt in an area,
I
which is
mean,
based.
I
Can
want
I
them
give
like.
this one?
Or I was talking,
Let
but
me
sure.
say this one thing, please. To adapt to an area, find out where the local honey is. Get the raw local honey. And for 30 days, take a teaspoon of that honey in anything that you drink, and your body becomes acclimated to that area. Okay, now I'm done. Go ahead.
Yeah, well, that's a good. That's a good thing too.
Yeah.
So you should be able. You should acclimate to the surroundings, which is good. But also, you want to like to. Well, I'm gonna say use the internet more often.
What about going to the library more often? I think that works
I
better.
mean, I'm talking about for money wise. Learn like reading. That's nowadays, olden day. I mean, back in the day, using the library is a good way to like try. That means you have to go out more. But now, since everything is leaning towards everyone, try to navigate the internet a lot more better. Because being unprepared and not navigating it properly can actually like not hurt you, but more like you'll be confused. You get what I mean, Mom?
Yes, I got what you're
But
saying.
if you're better, if you do a better understanding of the internet, I think you'll have an easier time navigating through. Do you think you
Okay.
if you understand the internet, do you think you'll be able to get more stuff done? Like a legit question.
No, not necessarily so. That's just me, but I'm not.
All right, if you feel that way, nothing wrong with feeling that way. There's nothing wrong with feeling that way.
Mm,
Yeah. So, any news about the gentleman?
no, I just sent again. So these things happen. So
That's
spirit
part of
has
life.
a way of doing stuff. So look tuned tomorrow, you guys, for Cha Jones' uploaded video that I will be placing. So I want to say thank you guys for supporting us on Friday
Yeah.
and being there and actually listening. So I want to say bye, everybody.
Bye. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. It's very important.